All right, are we here? Yep, here we go. I knew that this movie was going to be a difficult one to watch. Someone tried telling me, and I listened, and until I got backed into a corner, which lucky me that a week or two ago, they premiered Wish on Disney Channel, and I DVR'd it. And then finally today, Happy Memorial Day, everybody, if you're in America. Well, not really happy. Let's just give our respects to those who have died to have our freedoms. Anyways, yes, yes, I'm gonna try to. Anyways, so Wish. I tried. I 100% tried. I tried to see the other side. I tried to actually give it a good chance. I really did. I tried really hard to at least find some merit in it. At least find something where it's like the guy told me all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it. mm, All right, so anyways, for those who didn't watch Wish, here is the lowdown, and here's how I'm just gonna split it. So first things first, we get this guy. This guy figured out how to use magic, and he's able to perform wishes. And then he found a power too great, I guess, and he wanted to actually do it on his own. So he got a kingdom. He found a wife. They married, and now they have a kingdom that grants wishes if necessary, or something like that. So this is like the freaking downfall of it all because this is really a story about a guy who got too cautious. That almost any wish seems like a threat. And there's a backstory that you don't even freaking tell us. Is there a deleted scene? I sure hope so. That could actually help a lot of stuff out. Which it turns out there was a wish that seemed harmless and it caused issues to the point where he burned a tapestry or a tapestry was burned in the process. So my question is, what was that fucking wish? If we knew that wish, it could have been simply of, I wish to become a baker. And he became a baker, and lots of stuff happened, and he caused total mayhem, and he caused most likely only everything to go on fire because, well, I don't know. The thing is that we don't know what the simple wish was because I'm pretty sure it was a simple wish. It wasn't even a wish of, I wish to have military weapons. I wish I had a big fat robot. No, it was most likely something very, very simple that caused him to be like, oh man. Because you have, which nice little Easter eggs, someone wished to have a nanny like Mary Poppins, and someone wished to fly like Peter Pan. And we do even have inserts of Peter Pan, and I'm pretty sure we have an insert of Snow White too. And she was kind of a side main character. So what was the wish? That was the freaking issue. What was the wish? That's what you never told us, is what was the wish that caused him to actually be very cautious. Because there's one thing is that he has a kingdom to protect. And now, since things happened, he has just become more and more and more protective when it comes to it. And it's like, yeah, I think he needed to have some intervention. He needed to have someone new, someone to help guide him, someone to open his eyes, to break him from this cautious shell and say, it's okay. The wishes are okay. It's okay. And of course, well, we get our main character. So our main character, which I forgot her name, oops. Oops. So she has a mother, her dad died, and she has a grandfather. Her grandfather is 100 years old, and they really hope that he can get his dream. What's his dream? Oh, he just wishes to play guitar. That's all. He just wishes he played the guitar. And she is signing up to become the apprentice of this king. And well, it was going okay, but the thing is that Like the one guy said, it's like she's not that special. She's not really anything. She doesn't show like any true credibility to be like something special. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty true. That's pretty true. But it's like it would be a little bit more amped up if you actually did allow her to have like some magical abilities, which she later does get that by getting help. But it would be cool to actually have some capabilities, which makes more sense of why she would like to do it versus she cares about people. She cares about lots of people. But more importantly, she cares about her family, which is like cool and all. But what makes it so freaking important that you cut in line and get your grandfather to do it when so many others have been waiting as well? I mean, yeah, your grandfather been waiting 100 years, allegedly, which is like, yeah, that's understandable. But still, it's like you needed to make sure you had a good poker face. He even said that, man, it takes months for people to say what they want. And here you are already before you even get hired to tell them, could you just grant this wish right here? It's like, it's kind of scummy right now. You're not even hired yet. You just destroyed your chance to become the apprentice. And like I said, it's like this would have been good if you weren't such a freaking altruistic or you had self-preservation. In the case of helping your grandfather out, yeah, self-preservation, which cool and all. But to make this work to where it's like he needs to see the error of his ways that playing guitar doesn't cause a revolution, we're just like it's like it's like the good news is that he's too old to even do it, so it would be perfectly fine. But maybe he saw something when the guy was actually peak. I mean, look at all the revolutions that happen in let's break the fourth wall in the real world because of a guitarist with word, with a message. Jimi Hendrix caused the revolution. So many people caused a revolution with just a guitar. Of course, she don't know that because she's in that world. But I'm just saying the fact of where it's like music can cause a revolution. Music can cause a revolt. So for him to actually say no, your wish shouldn't be because it's too broad, it's like, yeah, it's because he got hurt and burned once with a wish that was just so simple, but it caused so much destruction. And it's weird that no one even noticed. Maybe because he kept it on the low. That most likely only ones who know about it is him and his wife. Maybe even not even his wife knows, which actually helps a little bit further, being like, huh. So because of that, and he just shooed her away, and he actually said no. He actually didn't shoot her away. He allowed her to see that your freaking grandfather's wish got denied. Instead, the person who got it, was the one who wants to be a very stylish seamstress. Yeah, she can make fancy dresses. Which, yeah, fancy dresses can't do anything. Indeed. Indeed. So she decides to go to a. Oh, yeah, he told her the fact that, yeah, you can't, most likely, no wish can be granted. At least your granddad's can't be granted. Your mom's most likely won't be granted. But mostly, she wanted to care about her grandfather. And that's the one that actually. It's like, yeah, it's like, it's a selfless act that got you freaking kicked out. And it's even worse because it's like, if you had a good poker face, you would have been perfectly fine. And then when you inherit it, guess what will happen? You can, well, if your grandfather's still alive, you can actually grant his wish. But of course, you will look biased because you will most likely go for your grandfather, go for your mother, go for your friends, then you'll go for everyone else. You see, that's kind of being biased. At least the king was not biased at all. The king was very calculating. He had to make sure that whatever wish he chose was not going to cause any issues. We have no idea about his foresight into the future. For all we know, he can look into the wish and see how things play out. But however, it's just more the fact of he tried this one time to allow someone who seemed seamless wish. And it turns out it wasn't seamless. It caused an issue, a major issue that the movie itself doesn't want to even talk about, which I'm pretty sure most likely means very, very bad. Most likely one person died, and you didn't want to mention it. It would be hilarious if it turns out that it was her own father. It was her father's wish. Did you see any wish of a dead person there? So I would say that most likely what happened is that if I have to spitball and take a good swing, her father might have been involved with that. And it might just be also some grudge against her father. Because it's like her father wished for that small thing, and oh, dear. Who knows? We can't tell. The freaking movie don't want to tell us. So after all that, and she was gonna try to tell her grandfather what was the wish, he was like, "Yeah, get out of here." And then she goes outside and she makes a wish upon the star, and thus the star is born. The Powerpuff Girls, kidding. But yeah, so the star actually has abilities to make magical stuff come true. Magicals, sure. Allowed the goat to talk, which yay! I see where the money went. You gave it to Charles Xavier. You gave most of the money to him. You freaking jerks. But it's like, yeah, sure, why not? So then after that, what she going to do is steal the two wishes from the king to give their wish back. Because that's one thing is that she said that, oh, well, then if you're not going to grant them, why can't you just give them the wishes back? Which is like, so you don't understand. Again, it's like, the king does not want to tell you. You're not close enough to being his apprentice at all for you to get an understanding of what happened. Because I think it was so painful that he doesn't want to mention it at all. And it's like, yeah, but if you were his apprentice, pretty sure we would all understand why he was like that, being like he was very, very cautious on which wish he granted. So, with that said, giving the wish back to all the people would equal it's the same damn thing. And she's like, oh, well, then we could actually stop them when they try to do the wish. It's like, yes, but you don't know which wish is just dangerous when you don't think it's dangerous, you know? Like, for instance, it could just be the fact of where it's like, oh, I wish I can learn how to make fireworks. Well, he knows how to make explosives. Now he knows how to make explosives. Oops. So it's like, yeah, you see the problem here? You see the wish of I want to be a fireworks specialist, and in that process, you actually know how to make bombs and explosives. Yeah, you can see the issue here. You can see the issue. So she goes to her friend, which of course her friend is actually Snow White incarnate, along with all the others. And it's like this little short guy. I'm like, he's gonna be the traitor. He's gonna be the traitor. But the other dude, he's over 18. When you're over 18, he takes your wish and he puts it in a queue, and you hope that you be chosen. For the guy, he actually became a freaking slouch when his wish was taken from him. Which I think the foreshadowing funniness is that the reason why you didn't get your wish granted is because your wish is freaking dangerous. And it's true. His wish was extremely dangerous. Who cares about the freaking, oh, he gave him some evil power too to it. Being a soldier and will put your life on the line for someone, even though it could be wrong, that's a problem. That's a major problem. So for him to not get his wish, and I don't know when he actually turned 18, it makes sense that he got halted on his wish to the point where his wish is not going to even be useful or even acknowledged anymore. It's hilarious. Oh, not to mention the fact of where it's like, I think he doesn't even need knights because he already has suits of armor who will actually fight for him. So it equals to where it's like his wish was freaking useless, anyways. No offense. So she goes and she actually gets her friend to get her ability to actually do it. And of course, the king was very, very threatened by that shooting star. That's a magical power that he felt, and he saw that as being a threat. Yeah, because listen, you don't know what freaking wish could be very deadly. Excuse me. So with that, it equals to the point where it's like you could cause issues if you just grant wish by your own hand. So basically, the whole thing of trying to make sure that everyone's all good and the kingdom is good has now been broken because you had to freaking do this crap. And I can't even say that, oh, well, all of this could be circumvented if the king actually elaborated of how he got that process. But it's like, dude, it pains him for what happened. We don't know the wish. We don't know how much damage it did, but it was painful to the point where he doesn't want to mention it. He doesn't mention it to his wife kind of knows, but not to the point of where she should have actually have stand with her husband, stand by your man. Anyways, so he calls a meeting. He calls a freaking gathering and say that, hey, whoever finds them, your wish will be granted. And then we get to a point of where it's like he is breaking at the seams, really, to the point where it's like all he's all, I mean, yes, he's vain. Yes, he's vain. He grew up being vain. He grew up being narcissistic and vain. Yes, but that's not really an actual bad thing. That's not evil. That's just a flaw that he has. So as for the thing of where y'all guys are like, take, give you, take, please, take. It's like, yes, I get it, but it's like he'll do it when is the right time. He'll do it when he actually scans and hope that whichever one he chooses isn't very messed to freak up. Just saying. And we don't even know how much power it takes to actually grant a wish, too, by the way. He said he did 14 in 1 year. No idea if 14 is the capability or is the max potential that he could do, or he could do even more. We do not know. That's the other part. We do not know the capacity of how many wishes he can grant in 1 year. I guess right now the cap is 14, allegedly. So she sneaks into the study, was able to grab the grandfathers, tried to get the grandmothers, tried to get her moms, but couldn't do it. She snuck out, thank goodness. And the guy just showed that he had a mental breakdown, a very, very mental breakdown to the point where he's going to the dark book. This is the second time he was about to go to it. It's like, jeez. Yeah, the first time his wife was able to talk him down, which good. Love conquers all. Don't forget that. Love conquers all. If love didn't conquer all, I think Harry Potter would be dead, gone. But love saved him. Carly Beth, if love wasn't an option, she would still be stuck in the freaking mask forever. Love conquers all. And sadly, this movie just tossed it to the side and said, go fuck yourself. And it's like, no. Like, what the hell? You might as well burn Lion King 2 in the bonfire while you at it. It's like, yeah, Kovu got freaking corrected thanks to love. Thanks to love. I'm trying to remember. What was that one? The one that's do. Oh yes, that was Pocahontas. Yes, love was able to save John Smith from being killed. Technically. Like, yeah, technically. So it's like, why did you throw that away? They threw it away for girl power? For what right now we're still in the messed up times of where it's like girls rule. Woo. men boo, men bad, boo, men boo. It's like, no, you need to have love. And that's what was missing in this. It's like, there's lovable. You wanted to humanize a villain. You kind of actually made him look good. He didn't even look like a villain from the very start. What the frick? He had the book for the first hand. If he was really a messed up villain, he would have already been used the book and just said, screw your freaking wife. She had a chance to actually help him. And she did. She was able to stop him already. Whatever. Anyways, the second time where he actually had a mental breakdown, he's like, that's it. I had it. Yeah. So yeah, she went to the grandma, went to her grandfather or mother, and gave her grandfather the wish back. Awesome, I guess. Some hijinks, of course, went beforehand, like talking rabbits, talking mushrooms, talking animals. Excuse me. So then, let's see. Uh, I think, yeah, he figured out that she was the one who did it, and she had she had her mother's wish, and he crushed it, and it's like, ooh, that's painful. So they actually made a quick getaway thanks to her quick thinking of, I can use a bookshelf to knock it over on him. And ran, and then with Wish, she was able to actually go into the freaking island. And then they're like, oh, wait, wait, wait. We got to be heroes. We got to save all those wishes over there. So she's going to go back and save the wishes. And, well, we get a reveal of who actually backstabbed him. I thought it was a shorty, but the shorty said, I know snitch. Turns out the guy who actually wanted to become a knight, he actually got his wish. But his wish was twisted and turned, which, again, like I said, his wish was dangerous, apparently. Duh. He told you wishes were dangerous. You should be cautious on who gives the wishes. You pushed him off the deep end. That's what really happened. You pushed him off the deep end. What he really needed now was advisement. That's what he really needed was advisement. And instead, you decide to actually just show that you're bigger than him, technically. And that, screw it. I could do it my damn self. But just like, yeah, that's not a smart thing, buddy. Lady, you shouldn't do that. Because things could have actually been a lot better if you were able to talk him down from everything. That's what you should have done. Be able to talk him down from everything. Anyways, let's see. So the guy actually sold out all his friends and everything, and they decided to hide somewhere, and they hide somewhere. And of course, they have that special one who actually is antisocial. And then all of a sudden, here is the battle cry, and here is the rebellion, which is like, huh, amazing. Didn't he just say that his kingdom will be threatened by a wish that if you actually allow a wish to be granted so willy nilly? Hilarious. It's kind of hilarious. Like it kind of works, but dude, just dude. So it turns out the queen decided to come in, and it's like I get the queen would actually backstab him if there's really no hope, but it feels like me. I should be like Pretoria. Did you try, Queen? Did you try to go to your husband? Did you try to talk him down? Did you try to actually get him to see the error of his ways that this is going too far? Did you try? Because the only way to make sure we know that he's off the deep end is if he doesn't listen to you and even strikes you. And it's like, oh my gosh. If he strikes you and he has no remorse of it, then you know for a fact that he is too far gone to be saved. But she did nothing. She just joined a rebellion, and actually now she's planning how to get all the wishes returned back to everyone who wished on it. So they decided to do a decoy. He's in the forest while, the main character is in the forest with the quote unquote wishing star, which no, she ain't. And the wishing star decided to give her a magical branch. Yes, a magical branch. And the star actually goes over there, and everyone had to try to jump and do stuff to get it open. And they did, but it turns out that he was two steps ahead of them and actually planned this trap. Of course, they did actually have the part of where they were saying, "Oh, the stars are you're all stars. Actually, you're all stars." It's like, yeah, that's nice. That's sweet of you. You're all stars. You can make your own wishes come true. Anyways, he goes off the deep end to an extreme point, and his wife did try to figure out how to actually separate him from the staff, which there's no way to do it except for, of course, the thing that the darkness would never tell you is love. Yes, you needed to go check out other books because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna look at a dark book and see if there's any way to reverse it." Of course, it wouldn't tell you. Of course, it wouldn't. Like, geez, this would be like going to the freaking red book of the dark satanic peoples and hoping that there's some way to actually get them out of their satanic ways and beliefs. No, you needed to go to the freaking Bible for that. You need to go to the good book. It's called the good book. You needed to find a book in that massive library of his to help you with this. And what they did, oh, well, we couldn't find anything in the dark book, so I guess we can't do anything. It's like, oh my gosh, are you so damn stupid? It's like, yes, it's like almost anybody could actually see love would be the best option right now. And he's there. He's right there. He's not even in the forest. He's right there. You could have tried to freaking use love. You could have tried that. And instead, you're like, nah, it's all right. We're going to just try to do freaking, we're just going to I don't know. So he was able to capture all the wishes and the star and absorbed all of it. And it's like, oh my gosh. Wow. They actually allowed him to do it. Of course, she's there. The main character's there. And well, she gives the song, which what was her grandfather's wish again? That he can play music. And music can cause rebellions. How is that wish dangerous? Yep, just insert what Harry did in Home Alone 2 when he opened the door. It's like, go right ahead. Oh, no, Marv. It was Marv. Yeah, it's like, can I do the thinking? It's like, go right ahead. So yeah, about his wish not being, dangerous, you were saying? You were saying if you think if you didn't even have the wish to actually be have music in you. He did. So what does that mean about his wish if it really actually was granted way back when? Anyways, all of them stood together. All of them were able to actually help. And I think the the wish broke out, and all the freaking wishes went back to everyone. And then he got absorbed by the freaking dark wand. And I was like, oh, so you killed them off. Oh, oh, good. Oh, yeah, yeah. Congratulations. Perfect. You killed them off. Good, good. You killed off the misunderstood individual. Good on you. Good on you. And then it's revealed that it's like, no, no, no. So it turns out he's still alive. He's just stuck in this dark crystal and no idea how to let him free. And it's like, okay, let's hang him in a dungeon. Okay, then. So the star actually gives the main character a freaking magic wand officially, and of course he has to go. So that's the end of everything. Oh yeah, Peter Pan, allegedly Peter Pan, wants to create a flying machine so they can fly. It's like and it's like okay. And then of course there's another girl who wishes to fly, so they're gonna together make something. Which I'm like, well, if you make a flying contraption, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be causing issues too. And it's like, what? How does it cause issues? Oh, very simple. If they actually decide to fly and they go to another freaking country and the country doesn't see kindly to people just flying, because it's a flying vehicle, y'all guys most likely will get killed, taken down, and then after that, the country that allegedly sent them over there, which they didn't, now they're gonna say, "Oh, that means war. You just claimed war on us because you sent that flying machine at us." And it's like, no, it's a misunderstanding. No, fuck you, because that's what you guys did. Because you guys don't talk. So if you guys didn't talk with the king and try to actually persuade his ways and try to actually see that you're being too cautious, which not really, that means that the other freaking countries of this whole entire world also is the same way. They don't talk, they do. Sorry. Sorry to tell you this, but it seems like your whole entire movie, yeah. So this movie needed to have a few more years in the tank. Personally, what I would say how you can remedy this is very, very simple. Like I said, you needed to have the king see the error of his ways. You need the king to actually see that, oh my gosh, wow, I got too cautious over these years. And I'm sorry. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. We can help you. We can help you see. We can help you get back to the righteous path. That's much better, isn't it? That's much better instead of trying to treat him like the voodoo man from Princess and the Frog. Now, he did deserve it. The voodoo man did deserve it. However, this king right here, he didn't do anything wrong. We had a story that we didn't get the full coverage of. It was basically be like, oh yeah, it would be like you didn't even mention that Kovu is Scar's son, and his mother actually put him up to this whole entire thing, and he lied about his father and lied about the whole thing. He needed to take revenge on Simba. If you just took all that out in Lion King 2, you would not understand what the frick Kovu is all about, which means you'll basically extremely hate Kovu, but they don't tell you exactly like he was taught to hate and to kill and to conquer. That's not what he wanted. And you saw in the actual full version of Lion King 2, no, he didn't want to conquer. He found love. He didn't have the hate in his heart that his mom did. So yeah, it gets very messed up. And like the other option is this is that if you didn't really want to make him the freaking villain, then why not just make a different villain that's the one that actually is the source of his power? And the villain's like, oh, I see. So you're trying to actually turn him good and try to actually, it's like, no, 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 no. I'll take his power away and I'll destroy everything. It's like, that's what you should have did. Or or how about you actually just reveal that the reason why he's like this is because every time he grants a wish, a piece of good that he had in him is gone. Every single wish, it absorbs, it takes away some good that he had in him. And that's why he's like this. You needed to have a better situation than what you gave us. Instead, this one is like, man, it was okay, but if you actually allowed it to have a few more polishes to it and some rewrites, this would actually have been a very decent movie to watch. It would have been very, very decent instead of it's like what the guy said. And you pushed the guy off the deep end. He did not only have to conquer wishes, not conquer, he had to grant wishes, but he also had to run a freaking kingdom. It's like, yeah, it's like I just don't know. This movie is a total I don't know. In the end, is like you could have had love conquers all. Yeah, instead it's like, no, we had to just make him go very, very nuclear, and then after that, he gets imprisoned into the thing because why the frick not? And yeah, there you go. So now the queen's ruling everything, and the one who is going to become an apprentice is freaking the apprentice anyways. I just think that a different version of this movie would have been better. The fact of where it's like, that's what we need now. Wait, this came out in 2019, correct? That's what we need now. You need to understand that there's old people, there's elderly people running government, running this whole entire country. And for you to actually get the message of the younger generation can actually help steer clear the freaking elderly people to the right path, a better path that is healthy for the country and for the world. That is your message. That is the message you should have. And of course, I'm pretty sure the king would maybe step down and she actually would come. I'm pretty sure she would just become the sorcerer while the king will still become the king. And she would just be like kind of advisor to the king as well, or at least he'll advise her when it comes to it. Or, but still, the message should have been that, where it's like, in your old age, the crown is so heavy. He had a heavy crown. And you can miss things, you can forget things, you can actually just lose track of sense. And you just need a person that actually is of younger generation, younger perspective, to give you a better perspective of what you have. Basically, trying to revert you back to the one that actually was of good intentions. That is your message. Instead, what message you give us here? What exactly you give us here? I guess basically any wish can come true. You can make your wish come true. I guess that's it. That's it. Don't allow anyone to bogarde your wish. It gets worse when it comes to people who are funding it, where it's like you could actually screw the funders, say up yours funders when they're actually kind of good natured, even though they do have like a small agenda. Everyone has a small agenda. But to say screw you and you're now going to go on your own, that'll be good. But however, there might just be ways of where you might just need to be regulated. Because if you're not regulated, it could cause issues. Anyways, this movie, man, this movie, just this movie right here. It's like, yeah, she could actually, it's like, this movie is just the way it is. Even if she was like, oh, well, I'm not going to look self preservation biased. I'm going to look at all and be open minded. And it's like, yes, I know there's some who actually should be older, and an older community should be first to be chosen, technically. But it's like, I think he was the only elderly person around, though. That's the funniest part. He's the only elderly person around, and he made it to 100 years. Crazy. Crazy. It's like I think at one point it should be the factor where it's like, he's elderly. His wish shouldn't really cause any issues, but it's like again, we don't know the wish that happened that was very trivial, and then oops, we do not know. We wish we knew, but they never told us. So, anyways, I'm done. I'm gonna try to watch something and well, you saw one person. Well, I don't think you get to see live chat, but either way. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. I would say you can watch it if you wish. No pun intended. But I don't give it a guarantee. I don't give an actual thing of watch it, don't watch it, don't like it. It's okay. I'm not gonna say you should watch it. I'm just gonna say if you need a perspective of your own, watch it to see if I'm correct, if I have a right opinion about this. If I don't, of course, do what they didn't. Help guide me into the right, in quotations, right opinion, right point of view. Because right now, all I can see is that this one should have just been put in more time in the script and know what message do they want to say. That's the message that they're missing here. They had a simple message versus a message that could really hit home, and that's where they lose.